Guys, magre-react ako pagkatapos ng video na ito. Ito yung nangyari noong October 7, 2023. Ang totoo. Tara, samahan niyo ako panoorin natin. Let's go!
On October 6th, around 3,500 people, mostly young adults, attended the Supernova Music Festival in Re'im Forest, which is around 3 miles from Israel's border with the Gaza Strip. There were 3 stages, a camping zone, and a food court set up at the festival, which was built as a celebration of friends, love, and infinite freedom. At 6:30 a.m. on October 7, rockets were seen in the sky and warning sirens were sounded. Hamas terrorists using motorcycles, trucks, and powered paragliders stormed the festival grounds, murdering 364 people and taking more than 40 hostages. I'm going down to Re'im to meet Rafaela Trisman, who survived the Nova Festival massacre. Her boyfriend, Hanani Glazer, unfortunately, was tragically murdered. A memorial site has since been set up in that site of the festival. Boards remembering those killed and kidnapped, completed with small gardens and memorials, now fill that place.
My name is Rafaela Treisman. I'm 20 years old, and I've been here at the Nova Festival at the 7th of October. I actually got here the 6th of October at 11 p.m. with my boyfriend, Hanani Glazer, and with a friend, Rafael Zimmerman. And everything here was so beautiful, so amazing. We were in the front of the DJ.
Yeah.
We're dancing. I was looking around. Everyone was smiling, and people were so filled with joy and happiness and love. And the sun started to rise. Everyone was kind of seeing each other for the first time again, and like the energies were here
Super
up high.
And this was a peace festival,
Yeah,
right?
peace festival, a light festival, and suddenly the music stopped. And then everyone started to scream at the DJ, like, no.
Why do you stop the
Why do you
music,
stop
right?
the music right now? Why do you do that? Like arguing with him. And then he took the microphone and said, צבע אדום, חברים, צבע אדום, תלכו מפה. Which means
that
red
rockets are
alert.
coming,
Yeah.
go to a shelter.
It was like red alert, you have to leave. And then we started running, like towards Re'im, because I called my stepfather and asked what to do, and he said, okay, the closest shelters to you are in Re'im, so go there. Started running, we stopped the car. 2 people that were in the party. They just took us to a shelter, which is like a minute from here.
On the road.
Yeah, on the road. And we sat the 3 of us inside of the shelter. And then a lot of people came inside, and we became 40 people in a shelter that is smaller than this one, so you can imagine how
Yeah.
we were. We started to hear a police officer, a woman, she was speaking on the radio. And she was like, I'm in Re'im and I was shot and they're terrorists and I'm gonna die. And then we heard the terrorists killing her.
You heard the gunshot.
Yeah, and we were like 40 people inside of the shelter, one on top of the other, hearing the police officer getting shot.
Somebody went out or everybody is
No,
inside?
everyone was inside
Because-
trying to stay quiet. And then after they killed her, they threw inside the first gas grenade. And then they threw a lot of things afterwards, like normal grenades, shrapnel grenades, gas grenades. Then they started to come inside and just go on the bodies and shoot everyone that was there, and they were just laughing and
And
screaming.
you saw that. You were inside.
I was under a lot of bodies, just saying to my boyfriend, well, I want to go home. What am I doing here? What's going on? And he was like, babe, calm down. There are terrorists here. We're under a lot of people. It's gonna be okay. We're in the corner. It's gonna be okay.
Did you hear him being shot when you went?
No, I was on the
inside?
floor. They also built like a fireplace on the place of the door. There's no door, but we're supposed to be. And they burned a lot of bodies. So all of that smoke was getting inside. And then this woman fell on me, and I couldn't breathe anymore, and I was saying to him and to my friend, like, take her off me or I'm gonna die. And they couldn't, because they were so tight and they weren't breathing themselves, they couldn't. And then he just didn't know how else to help and just said, okay, I have to try to do something. My time has arrived, I have to try to do, and just left. And I couldn't move, so I didn't see him getting shot. And I just stayed there hearing everything, trying to be somewhere else in my mind. And 5 hours later, I saw this man coming inside and outside. And I heard him screaming in Hebrew, Mi adain b'chaim, mi chai adain. Who is still alive, who is alive? And then I somehow got up. And he told me to come towards him. Before I got to him, I just stopped. Like, saw everything that was in front of me, all of those bodies. I started looking at people's phones. And I started saying like, mom, dad, babe, brother, sister. And I was like, you're calling someone that I can't even describe how they look. And I was thinking that to myself. And I was like, trying not to step on anyone. And at the same time, look for my boyfriend. And I was like, okay, this one, his leg is out, but this is not his tattoo. So this one, he's exploded, but this arm is too big to be his. I don't know. And then he took me outside. And I saw this big fireplace with burned bodies. The only thing I could get out of my mouth was Hanani died. I started to scream. I said, Hanani died, he died, he died. I saw him, the images stayed in my head, and I just, no, this can't be. From those 40, only 10 got out alive. I got to the hospital at like 5.
So the rocket started at 6:30 in the morning, a.m., and then it got to the hospital at 5
4 or 5, something like that.
p.m. at night.
Yeah. And then I stayed there for like a few hours and I was covered in blood. You would get in the hospital and you would see a movie scene. It's like doctors running, people screaming, people beheaded, people without arms, without legs, exploded, dead, family searching, showing pictures to everyone. Have you seen my kid? Have you seen my kid? And I was just screaming at the doctors and saying, my boyfriend died, Hanani. And my mother didn't. She took like a good 3 to 4 hours to get to me. I couldn't do anything. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't care. Then at some point they took me home. I don't hear quite well. And like my eyes, they burned for like 2 to 3 weeks. I couldn't really open them. And I would cough black things. I have no idea what that was. And my hair would smell like dead bodies for like 3 weeks. I couldn't get the smell of my hair. It's like people say that with time, things get easier. For me, it only gets more confusing.
Yeah.
Like, at the same time, I feel like a lot has passed, but everything is kind of a blur. And at the same time, I feel like I'm still in October. It's like I have 2 different things to deal with. The thing that I went through, like...
And the second thing?
And the loss of my boyfriend, which I miss him a lot. And it's weird because it's like my brain is lying to me, like he's going to come back or something. So it's like just weird. Everything is just weird.
I've seen you a lot on TV, coming here and sharing the story. And personally, I think it's very important because Israel is fighting one war, which is with tanks and bullets, and we're winning that war. But there is another war, a war of the media, of the public opinion of the world, and we can see demonstrations going on in the United States, in Canada, and other places that are basically anti-Israel and pro-Hamas demonstrations. That's what it is.
That's the problem, the ignorance, the lack of information, the lack of understanding. Just people say whatever they say just to feel like they're a part of something, but they forget that they're talking about human beings. We were here to celebrate. These are young people. What did they do? What did I do? We came here to party. What is more normal than young people coming to a party? We came here disarmed, happy, chill, with our best friends and with the people that we most love. How can you chant for something? How can you support something like that? How can you support people invading a country and decapitating babies and killing people and burning families and coming to a festival and shooting and coming to shelters like I was and laughing and celebrating? That's why I remember about them. Celebration of what they were doing. No one can tell me I'm lying. No one can tell me I'm imagining stuff. I have proofs. I have on my phone. I have pictures. I lived that. So it's like, I feel like it's our job to explain and to tell people, because they can't speak for themselves. They can't share their stories. They cannot. They're just pictures now and memories. People around the world, they forgot about the 7th of October. They already have forgotten. And even if I try to forget, I can't forget.
No, I wanted to say that, first of all, thank you for sharing. And that millions of Christians around the world that watch TBN are praying for the people of Israel, are standing with Israel, and you're willing to come here and speak and doing this a lot of times. It's really important. Like, we need to
That's the only thing that we can do.
share the truth so that people will know what happened and understand why Israel is fighting this terrorist
Why to stand with
organization.
Israel.
So, thanks so much. The enduring impact of October 7th will remain with us indefinitely. Beyond the tragic loss of those who were killed and taken hostage, and the immeasurable grief their families continue to endure, there are those who witnessed the horrific atrocities. They witnessed an evil they never imagined possible unfold before their eyes. Their lives will never be the same. Please pray for all those affected by that tragic day. May they find peace in their hearts. Please pray for the return of these ready hostages, that our soldiers will be safe. And most importantly, let's unite in prayer for the peace of Jerusalem.
Guys, nakita nyo, lumabas ng katotohanan na napakatahimik before nung October 7. Napakaganda ng mundo. Pero walang magawa yung mga terorista. Inumpisa nila yung giyera doon sa nilusob nila yung Israel. Pinasok nila, nagpaulan sila ng rocket. Ang daming namatay. Grabe masakar itong ginawa nila sa noong October 7. Yung mga inosente na nanonood ng concert, pinagpapatay nila na ang pa doon, nakakabahala pa doon yung habang ginagawa nila yung pagpatay, nagtatawanan, sineselebrate nilang pumapatay sila. Ito yung yung nature ng mga terorista. Katapos sisigaw sila ng habang pumapatay, bumabarel na sumasaksak. Habang pumapatay, sumisigaw sila ng Allahu Akbar. Nakakapanindig balahibo. Dahil ito yung yung gawa ng yung mga demonyo, di ba? Yung nag-i-enjoy sila sa suffering ng iba. Hindi ko ma-imagine yung mga supporters ng Hamas na terrorist group. Ang dami-daming nagrarally, nagpuprotesta sa Amerika, sa UK, sa Australia, sa Germany. Saan-saan sa buong mundo ang daming nagpuprotesta. Saan ba nagumpisa ang ng kaguluhan na ito? Di ba? Napakatahimik ng October 6, nag-i-enjoy ang lahat ng tao, ang buong mundo. Tapos basta-basta na lang umpisahan ng mga terorista. Yung kabalastugan, yung giyera. Ang nag-umpisa ng giyera, yung mga Hamas terrorist. Hindi ko ma-imagine bakit nagkaroon sila ng supporters. Dahil ang mga engot, mga tangengot, na mga walang kwenta na mga tao na kunwari nakikiramay sa mga namamatay. Okay lang yun, makiramay ka sa mga biktima, di ba? Pero isipin nyo, saan ba nag-umpisa ang kaguluhan? Saan ba nag-umpisa ang gira? Sino ba ang nag-umpisa? Di ba yung mga terorista na Hamas? Di ko ma-imagine na milyon ng tao ang nagpoprotesta. yung pinoprotesta nila yung aftermath, yung inumpisa ng terorista, yung mga victims, ang ang Israel lang gumanti lang sila, inumpisa ng Hamas, di ba? Ito na lang paulit-ulit, ilang taon, ilang decade na lagi nilang inumpisahan, paulan ng rocket, anytime, madaling araw, gabi, umaga. Paulan sila ng paulan ng rocket pag ginantihan sila. Ang nakakaano pa dito, dahil habang nagpapaulan sila ng rocket doon sa mga inosenteng mga Jewish, yung mga terorista sa buong mundo, sigaw sila ng sigaw na Allahu Akbar, God is great. Di ko ma-imagine ang ganyang mga reaction. Paano ka makaselebrate sa kamatayan ng ibang tao, di ba? Tapos sabihin nila ganun. Ito yung mga gawain na yung natural na gawain ng mga demonyo, di ba? Nagagalak sila sa bigati ng ibang tao. Napakaraming tawag nga sa kanila ng Hamas yung mga supporters nila sa buong mundo. Ito yung parang useful idiots. Ito, imaginein mo, hindi naman sila kilala ng Hamas terrorist, pero sumusuporta sila. Tama nga yung words na ginagamit ng Hamas na these people, the supporters are useful idiots, di ba? Bagay na bagay talaga yung ay naku, hindi ko maintindihan. Hanggang ngayon, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang protesta na magkabilaan. Hanggang ngayon, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang giyera. Tapos sasabihin nila, gumagawa sila ng propaganda na ang daming namamatay ng mga bata, mga babae, matanda. Pero anong ginagawa? Anong ginagawa ng mga terorista? Doon sila nagtatago, ginagawa nilang human shield, yung mga civilian. Doon sila nagpalipad ng rocket sa school, hospital, apartments, condominiums, kung saan maraming tao na inaakala nila na hindi gaganti ang Israel sa ginawa nila sa pagpalipad nila ng rocket. Di ba? Ang nakakaano lang dito, hindi ko maintindihan talaga na habang nagpapalipad sila ng mga rocket, mga grenade launcher, lahat, mga missile. Pag nagpapalipad sila, sigaw sila ng sigaw ng Allahu Akbar, nag-celebrate sila na pag may tamaan yung missile o rocket na pinadala nila. Doon sila nag-celebrate. Tapos pag ginantihan sila, pag sila naman tinamaan ng missile na ganti na galing sa kabila, iyak sila ng iyak, sigaw ng injustice, inhuman, massacre, genocide, anak ng patula. Anong klase? Gusto niyo ng away? Inumpisa niyo? Pag inantayan kayo, iyak kayo ng iyak? Anong klase? Ba't hindi kayo mag-celebrate kung matamaan kayo? Ba't hindi kayo mag-celebrate pag nakita niyo yung pamilya niyong namamatay, natatamaan? Diba? Nagiging biktima ng crimes of war, diba? Saan ka nakikita ng giyera na walang patay? Inumpisahan niyo ang giyera, edi tanggapin niyo ang consequence, diba? Tapos iiyak-iyak, magdrama-drama kayo na victims kayo. Pa-victim ang effect niyo. Stop genocide, kalokohan. Umpisahan niyo. Ano yung tawag nung ginawa niyo nung October 7? More than 1,200 ang buhay, inosenteng buhay ang inano niya. Tapos kidnap pa kayo, nag-hostage pa kayo ng 240 plus, di ba? Yan, iharapin nyo ngayon yung consequence ng inumpisahan nyo, di ba? Tapos tong mga useful idiots naman sa buong mundo, support ng support, hindi naman alam kung anong ginagawa, basta na lang maka-support. Hindi ba nila kinoconsider yung mga victims ng October 7, di ba? Hindi ko maintindihan yung hindi ko talaga maintindihan kung saan napunta yung mga utak ng mga tao na ito. Guys, hanggang dito na lang po ang ating reaction video. Sa mga bago pa lang po sa aking YouTube channel, please paki-support. Please like this video. Paki-share po sa inyong friends and families. Yung hindi pa nakasubscribe sa YouTube channel ko, paki-subscribe po. Salamat po. Hanggang dito na lang tayo sa ngayon. See you on my next video. Salamat po. Bye for now. God bless us all.